Okay, so it's an outdoor table we're doing here.
Yeah.
Hey there, welcome to the Roy Woodshop. My name is Mr. Rodaway, and I'm here with my friend Adam. He's got a little project planned. What's the project today?
We saw this at a hiker meetup a long time ago, that people doing this, and we thought it was a really good idea, but we didn't know the size that we really wanted, so had them scrapple it around and just bought some magnets off Amazon and screwed them on there so we could try it out. And yeah, decided it was finally time to upgrade, but it just sits around on the fender and magnets on there. And
steel fender. I would have thought aluminum, but steel fender.
Yep.
Otherwise, it wouldn't magnet very well. All right, let's go inside and actually build our table.
Sounds good.
So we started with a plywood project or a plywood table. It works real well, but time to upgrade, right?
Yep.
Okay. We do have a video on how to make larger panels here at the Warrior Wood Shop. The difference is we always start with rough lumber in the 1 inch thick or thicker. So we go through all the process. So make sure you check out that video if that's what you're starting with. Where'd you get your lumber from?
We just bought it from Menards.
From the local box stores. After it's glued up, what do you remember the process? What do we do after it's glued up tomorrow?
Gonna plane it down, make it smooth and flat.
The problem with the planer is it makes it thinner. So we want to avoid losing any thickness since we're already at our hopeful desired thickness. What is our desired thickness? Is it flat?
Flat.
Flat and as thick as it can be, right?
Yep.
So if we're off a 16th on the top, that means we're off a 16th on the bottom, and see how everything multiplies. So we're gonna go over real quickly the 3 bears of gluing together boards. The least expensive option is biscuits. I can hear your stomach growling. No, it's not biscuits and gravy. Biscuits are a football-shaped little wafer board that uses a special cutter. This cutter is about $100 to $200, depending on what brand you get. It makes a half circle in there. Once you put glue in the mix, the biscuit absorbs the glue and expands. Strength-wise, we'll argue all day long on the forums whether it adds any strength. In fact, this fall we're going to do a quick video with our bridge tester from the engineering classes. We're actually going to test these 3, which one is the strongest and versus cost. So we're in the $100 to $200 range for a tool. We're not going to lay out those pretty easy. Just put 2 marks and you're good to go. Option 2, more common, because you probably have these tools laying around, is I call it the golf method. Drill a hole, put a peg between them. What's the challenge with drilling 2 holes and 2 different boards?
Getting them to meet up.
Getting them to meet up. So there are different kinds of jigs. This is a hand-me-down. This one's a self-centering one, so it only does the edges. And then we have the Dowel Max, which I recommend. Not sponsored by them, but it has all kinds of settings. The challenge of the Dowel Max is we're in the $300 to $500 range. The reason we're up above 300 is we've added the 45s, we've added the 3/8, we've added all the bells and whistles to our jig. So, well, so that's the mama bear. This one's the papa bear right here. Yeah, we drank the green Kool-Aid here at the Warrior Wood Shop. This is called the Festool Domino. It's got its nickname because it's going to insert a dowel that looks like a domino. That's kind of where it got its nickname. The advantage to the domino is there's 3 different settings: tight, medium, loose. So we can actually, if our pegs don't match up exactly, or we can get everything to adjust. What we're doing today, not as crucial but trying to line up a rail with a leg, you want it to make sure it matches. So that's the advantage there. So we're gonna get set up and we're gonna play with that one today. How's that sound? So we have extra length. That's what you want, because one of the challenges is getting all 6 sides perfectly aligned.
Yep.
So if we can trim it down, planer it off later, makes things a little bit easier. So width-wise, we're good, right? You decided you're not going to lose anything on the width?
Not really.
Okay, which not a big deal. But the ends, trying to get these ends exactly matched is going to make some things that we'd have to make this a bleepery video, one of those kind. We don't want to do that. So, all right. So let's get started on this one. Regardless if you're starting with the pre-planted lumber or the rough lumber, you want the seam to be pretty much pushed together and have, I call it the dollar bill touch. You got a dollar bill?
Do not. Actually, got you.
There we go. Yeah, this is the, all right. Actually, a 5 or a 10 works better. Oh, okay. So if you can slide a dollar bill in between, it's time to go to the joiner. All right. So we do that trick with the kids in the planer all the time. We'll actually have a kid bring out a $5 bill. Oh, gosh. Like, a $5 bill works better. Somebody goes, I got one of those. So refer to our joiner safety video if you're not familiar with that. Even though it's box lumber, it's still not perfectly straight. If you don't have a joiner, they do make jigs for the table saw. We have a joiner, so let's go use that. Seam look good?
Yep.
So how'd you know which side to put together?
We put a little X on each side that we ran through.
Again, back to the novel trick, right? Make things, in our classes, it might be 2-3 days before you come back and do this part. So labeling is gonna help out. One of the things we don't want to do is put a domino biscuit dowel right on the end, so if you ended up trimming it, you managed to find it, right? There's hundreds of videos on how to use a Festool domino. We've got ours set up for 20 millimeters, and we're going to go ahead and mark out, let's put in, I'm thinking 4. That should be a good number, and what's nice about this is they don't have to be precise. We got 36, so let's go every 6 inches. Might end up with 5, but yep. Okay. All right, so now, and then actually with only 2 pieces, it's not a hard lab. If there were 3 or 4, we'd have to like maybe label them ABC or something like that, but we're good here. The pencil mark indicates the top, which is the side that the plate's gonna go on. Okay. Okay. All right, so. All right, rinse and repeat. It's one of those things that, yeah, the cost is up there, but we found after getting it, we went from needing it for 1 project to using it on 10. I always tell people once you have the setup, you're more likely to use it if it's like. And not oversight, just enough to get the glue squeeze out. I will tell you, I don't know if you've ever how much glue you've done, have a small gap. Next debate is, do you wash or wipe or what? We're gonna go ahead and leave this because it's all just beaded. Since we don't have to move this, we'll just hit it with a paint scraper tomorrow and it'll chip off. Like if you, in the Warrior Wood Shop, we have to move our stuff, so we'll have the kids go ahead and wash it and then they have to write their name, date and time. But for the typical homeowner, it's time to go have dinner, right? Yep. All right, well, we'll come back tomorrow and show you the process of cutting this to size. For you guys, it'll be what? Almost now. All right, we're back. Hopefully you had time to go get a coffee, donut, get some rest like we did. Let me get a paint scraper. We'll take off the excess glue. I'll grab that. All right. All right, we're kind of gearing this video like the homeowner would do. Yes, here we're going to use the white belt sander, but this is, I teach the kids to do this at school anyways. Is to go ahead and put a squiggle line because then you can see where you've sanded, where you haven't sanded, and this will tell us when we've basically did everything. The kids love it on their projects when I do that without giving them warning. Like, what? So, all right, let's head over to the belt sander or white belt. We'll video that and we'll come back and finish it up. You said you're wanting to round over a couple of corners. How good are you at drawing circles?
Not that great.
I can tell by the laugh, right? Me too. An old trick, just take, something with a radius corner. They make gizmos and gadgets and what's its and what is it from Dr. Seuss? Who's its and what's its and thingamajiggers. I need to quote that movie better, but. wraps up the shop part of this video. I think you're gonna take it home, typical orbital sander, and get everything nice cleaned up and put your
Stain on it and add some magnets.
so the magnets are how it attaches to the trailer.
Yep.
So you got a steel fender. So cool. We'll attach a completed photo when it's all said and done.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
All right.
Thanks for being on the show.
Hey there, Warrior Wood Shop, coming to you from Interlochen State Park up in Michigan. Just thought I'd show you our finished product of our table here that we worked on with Jason this last week. Show you how we installed it. We installed some magnets on it, and we put some black stain on it. We didn't get to putting the Spartathane on it. Didn't have enough time, so that's something we'll do at a later date, but pretty much finished product and like how it turned out, so we'll go ahead and install it for the first time. So pretty easy, we just line it up with our door here. The magnets line up perfect with the fender. Rotate it down and it latches on and it's good and sturdy. The board is a little flimsy, so we might add a little bit of bracing at a later date if we need to, but it works pretty good.
Oh, by the way, just like we did here, go out and make some sawdust.